What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Jamal back on the Maltake Show. Today we're talking about early Generation Z. I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across this video, and it's something that me and my boys have been talking about recently over the past few weeks about how, early Generation Z, we had the best childhood. We experienced a transition from analog life to like digital life. We still remember, learning math through a projector, through a whiteboard, and you had to come down. We remember having flip phones like in middle school or whatever. We experienced, having to constantly press hit the number three times to get to, G or whatever, and how long it actually takes to like text. We experienced CDs, DVDs, and it was a very quick transition from like middle school on to like late high school, how technology quickly just came about. The different social media apps, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff. I was born in 2000, so all this stuff was coming out when I was like in middle school, early high school, and it was still like fresh, and people were still kind of just like figuring out what it was. People were still, posting things naively, or ignorantly, not understanding that there was repercussions for like what you were posting. But it was so new, and our parents at the time didn't know what exactly how the whole everything worked. It was before mental health became big, before you could get, I guess, cancel culture. We essentially had to learn through experiences of posting bad things on social media at a young age, and then experiencing the repercussions of those actions. If we said, something about that was maybe racist or disrespectful to like men or women, we learned that in real time at a young age. And as we've gotten older, we've able to like basically realize how mentally draining or mentally demanding social media can be, depending on what type of outreach you're making, or what type of posts you're making on social media. I actually wrote down some notes, not like me, but there were some things that I pointed out because I saw this on TikTok, and there was a slide that said, we adapted to technology so quickly and can navigate both analog and digital worlds fluidly. This duality makes us both nostalgic and forward-looking at once. We don't hyper-focus on one, but crave balance. So, as I was stating earlier, when we were growing up, our phones and stuff didn't really get popular till like middle school. So we were going outside, literally playing outside all day. I'm talking about basketball, riding bikes, going to the park, going to get ice cream. Like, we really experienced what our parents experienced, at a young age, of being outside, not really having the quick access to reach our friends, because that stuff didn't start getting popular, I would say, until we were like 13, 14. Versus like kids that are born in like 2008, by the time they're in middle school, bro, like Apple, all this stuff is already big. So like they're growing up in the digital world versus like us, we were growing up just outside playing, outside living life, not worried about a damn thing. You feel me? And then we experienced chaos too. At a young age, you had a global pandemic. Like, literally the whole entire world shut down. We didn't have to experience no crazy trials and tribulation like slavery or nothing, something off the wall. We didn't have to experience nothing to that magnitude, but we still got to experience a real life pandemic. Then we also grew up on this millennial idea of, follow your passion, go to college, and you'll succeed. And then when we entered adulthood in 2020, I was 20 years old, middle of college or whatever, we had a pandemic. So it was like our optimism got shot down as soon as it was getting ready to blossom. or as soon as we were getting ready to peak. And now I think that 5 years removed from that global pandemic, now we're in a situation where we're navigating a world where authenticity feels strategic and oversharing seems performative. Let me read that one more time. Navigating a world where authenticity feels strategic and oversharing seems performative. I think that we're a very unique and special generation from the standpoint of realizing how good life was without technology, but then also realizing the pros that come with technology. And basically, we're at a balance. There's like a beam. We're trying to balance the how much time we're on our phones, how much time we're on social media, and then also how much time we go outside and live life. One of my boys, a lot of my friends, man, we all grew born in 2000, we're all around the same age, 24, 25. And he was talking about this summer, I'm saying, he's trying to start bike riding, just start kind of learning how to skateboard, learning how to do things like that we used to do when we was kids. Kids like to skateboard or bike ride, just be outside, you know what I mean? And I think that it's cool for us to be experiencing this now in the middle of our 20s when technology is such at a focal point with everything. Like everything, AI is here and it's inevitable. Like nobody's taking down AI. Like we know what's coming. We know the digital age is coming. But I think that it's refreshing to hear someone that wants to just like be present in a way. Someone that's trying to just live life and not hyper focus on likes, retweets, comments, reposts, not so focused on this digital world, which is real, but it's only real to a certain extent. At the end of the day, you got to go out there. You got to live your life. You actually have to go out into the real world and do something. Because if you just constantly over focus on social media and let that kind of dictate how your life is, it could be very depressing, sad, lonely. You got to make sure you go out in the real world and maintain relationships with people that you care about and maintain those connections in the physical world, because that's what life is. You know what I mean? Like when we pass away, we're not going to be passing away on freaking X. They might be streaming it and giving away how streamers are popular now, and they might stream it or it might be on social media, but like you're going to pass away in real life. It's going to be real people there. You feel me? And I think that like we forget just how fun life can be without being worried about technology. I think that we truly do forget how simple life can be. You know what I'm saying? Just going on a walk, going on a hike, going to play pickleball, going to play basketball, going to play soccer, just going out and doing fun things, That's what I'm striving to get back into as I'm getting older, still trying to stay active and not be so dialed in to my phone. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought this was an interesting topic to discuss on the show. Let me know if you guys how do you guys feel about early Gen Z? So it's about like 1997 to 2003. We had like peak. I will die on the hill. We had the best childhood. It was peak. Truly was peak. We're the only generation that really experienced both worlds like that. You know what I'm saying? Analog, having to put CDs, but then also grew up with technology as we was growing up too. Like that shit is hard, bro. So, yeah, appreciate you guys for listening. This has been your boy Jamal on the Mall Take Show. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what's coming next. Peace.